moving on to Dr. Wenstrup.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Dr. Eggers, for being here. As I look at all this and I hear the term forgiveness, and that even intrigues me to call it forgiveness, because forgiveness usually comes after some kind of an offense or a sin. But this bailout paid for by others that never took the loan, never signed on to the loan, they're gonna pay this back for somebody who did sign for the loan. It's the greatest example of coveting your neighbor's goods and irresponsibility that I can think of. But that's the world we're living in, I guess. That people think that the government is not really the people's money behind it. But clearly it sends a message to future students that you're not responsible for your financial decisions when it comes to your education. And that's far different than what I went through. I mean, I worked all through undergrad, and I didn't take a student loan until the last quarter of my senior year. And when I went to medical school, I did take loans, but I was careful about the loans. There were some that were very high interest loans, 17% at the time, for what was called a health education assistance loan. Well, I didn't take that one till my senior year, because I even worked through medical school to try and keep the cost down. And I do give the institution credit because they were actually working with students, trying to guide them through some of this and say, just understand what you're doing. But at the same time, I still saw students going out buying brand new cars with their 17% loan. And I just couldn't fathom that. I also, as a soldier now, when I talk to GIs about using the GI Bill, you got these young people, they're going to go get their education. I said, be careful how you use it. It is a great benefit that you earned, but go into something where you're going to be able to really advance and have a career afterwards. I got nothing against a philosophy degree, but I don't know what your options are with that. And, a four-year degree is not the American dream necessarily. It's being able to put a roof over your head and a meal on the table. There's a lot I can do in the operating room as a surgeon with my 3-4-year degrees, but I can't build the operating room, and I can't fix it, and I can't do all those wonderful things that we need in America. So responsibility is a life lesson that we are really taking away. And so, Dr. Eggers, what do you think the psychological impact on people who have student loan debt just wiped off for them by someone else? What do you think that does to them psychologically when it comes to their future spending habits and how they deal with inflation and things like that?
I certainly believe that just wiping away this debt for borrowers will send the message to them that they're not responsible for their financial decisions. And I certainly believe it will leak over into the way that future students are spending in higher education, but very likely will affect people's spending behaviors in other segments of the consumer economy.
I appreciate that. And I think we may see some really bad long-term effects from this. I already see people on interviews on TV saying, yeah, I'm going to die with debt. I don't care. It's a whole different mindset that was far different than how I was brought up. Thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Yield back.
Thank you, Dr. Wenstrup. Mr. Aaron.